Hello and welcome to today's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're going to be taking a look at a sequel puzzle today. It's called Galapagos, and it's by the great Niverio. And this is a sequel to a puzzle I did on the channel a few months ago. I think it was called something like the Caribbean. And well, I'm looking forward to trying this. Is the short version of what I'm about to say, because it is a Nurikabe hybrid, and I absolutely love Nurikabe puzzles ever since the days, which some of you may remember, when Nikoli, the great Japanese puzzle company, used to publish daily. They published 4 puzzles every day, and you could race them on this fantastic interface that they had. And you know, if we were lucky, we'd get a big Nurikabe puzzle on any one day, and yeah, you could match wits with the likes of Hideaki Joe and Thomas Snyder. Yeah, it was that is an area in which computing has gone backwards. The fact that I think, was it, I don't know if it was Adobe Flash or something like that, but there was some version of internet programming that became obsolete for some reason, and they totally stopped doing it, which was a great pity. But anyway, Niverio knows that Nurikabe is a great logic problem and has built it into this puzzle, and I just snipped some comments on it. Let's have a look at these. So Mixo is a fantastic solver and setter, says awesome puzzle. Itrio, Christune, you know, these are Playmaker, Microstudy. These are all names I recognise. I think Samuel 1997 is a very good solver as well, as I'm sure all these people are, but they're just names I recognise, and they're all saying that this is a very fun puzzle, so I've no doubt we're in for a little treat. And I don't have much news for you today, so just an appeal as always, if you do enjoy the channel, please consider subscribing. We have our Patreon site, which is the best Sudoku club on earth. It's a couple of bucks a month to join that. There's always a monthly competition, as well as lots of extra content over there. And of course, there are all our apps and Sven's Sudoku Pad and the like. Anyway, with that said and done, with a quick plug there, let's have a look at Galapagos and see what Niverio has in store. These are the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. Then it says Nurikabe, shade some cells such that all shaded cells are orthogonally connected without creating a 2x2 area, and divide. Oh, sorry, the grammar there is a bit strange. Shade some cells such that all shaded cells are orthogonally connected without creating a 2x2 area, and divides the unshaded cells into blocks of unshaded cells, brackets islands. Okay, so the shaded cells, we're going to have a load of shaded cells in the grid, and they have to be orthogonally connected. Now, what does that mean? Well, cells are orthogonally connected if they share an edge with each other. So if we were to add this green cell, this green cell here is not orthogonally connected to the rest of the green cells because it only touches the green cells at a point. So it's diagonally connected. That is not sufficient for an orthogonal connection. So we need to have green cells like this. We can't have a 2x2. And what we're going to do is sort of, I'm trying to do this without creating 2x2s, and I'm failing miserably here. You know, so something like this might be possible, and then these are going to be islands of unshaded cells in the middle of the pattern. So this sort of thing would be going on. I've done a terrible color choice, but hopefully you can sort of see that this is the sort of pattern we're going to have to build in this puzzle. It says each island contains exactly one clue, and that clue gives the sum of the digits on the island. Okay, so are these the clues then? That would seem right, wouldn't it? Yeah, I mean, I think that must be these clues. All clues except the given 4, whose shading is unknown, are parts of the islands. Okay, so yes, okay, so these are clues, and these are islands within the shaded cells. Digits do not repeat on an island. Well, that's interesting straight away. So, okay, so there's a 45 there. Some of you may know immediately what that must mean. But anyway, there's one more rule which says region sums. No island is contained within a single box. And the sums within the boxes on an island are the same. Okay. Different visits to a box do not count separately. Then there's an example. It says a 36 clue, we do have one of those, may have cells in 4 boxes that all sum to 9, or 3 boxes that all sum to 12, or 2 boxes with each box's digits summing to 18. Yeah, okay. So what it's saying is, it's a very cool idea. So the islands spill out away from their clue cell, if you like. They have to visit another 3x3 box. And then you have to sort of decide how many other 3x3 boxes this 36 clue, for example, is going to visit. And what it's saying is that it could visit 4 other boxes. So maybe the 1, 2, 3, let's make it those 4. And if it does visit those 4, because it has to have equal portions in each of the boxes, 36 divided by 4 is 9, so that we'd have to put 9's worth of digits in this one, 9's worth of digits in this one, 9's worth in this one, and 9's worth in this one. And if instead it was only 3 boxes, then 36 divided by 3 is 12, so we'd have to put 12's worth of digits in this box on this island, 12's worth on this island, and 12's worth in here as well. So that does feel clear to me. Do have a go. Anyway, the way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. I get a given digit today. Let's get cracking. Now, right, nothing immediately is jumping out at me, I have to say. Well, apart from, let's actually deal with this one. Because we can't repeat digits on an island, let's consider how large this island must be. And there is a secret of Sudoku that I only tell my very favourite people. Don't worry, if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret is that if you add up all the digits in any row, all the digits in any column, or all the digits in any box of a Sudoku, you will be adding the digits 1 to 9 once each. And that sum is 45. So, because there is no possibility of a repeated digit in this 45 island, this must contain 9 different numbers. Now, one thing I was just wondering is whether it could be that. It can't be that because it would touch this island, but also we are told it has to spill out into another box, aren't we? So we actually have to look at the factors of 45. Okay, so 45, if we prime factorize it, it's equal to 3 times 3 times 5, isn't it? So either this visits 3 different boxes, so say it does these 3, and it plonks 15's worth of digits. Oh, that's somebody at the door. Let me just listen out just to see if I can hear that being answered, otherwise I'm going to have to run downstairs. I'm not sure. No, I can hear the door being answered. It's fine. It's fine. Right, so what were we saying? We're saying either it goes to 3 different boxes and it plonks 15's worth of digits into each one, or it goes to 5 different boxes and it plonks... Oh, it can't go to 5 different boxes. That's too many, isn't it? I don't think it can go to 5 different boxes and plonk 9 in each one, because to get into 5 different boxes with orthogonal connections... well, I would claim that's about, well, no, actually, maybe you could do, that is probably the quickest you could get into 4 boxes, isn't it? And I've already used up 7 cells. So to get into this box or a different box altogether, you're going to need more than 9 cells. So actually, we do know something straight away about this. I'm going to claim this visits 3 different boxes and plonks 15 into each of them. 15's worth of digits. And It feels like it's going to have some sort of interference. If it wants to come this way, this clue is going to get quite tricky, I think. Although that one, 36, has so many factors. I mean, is the example illustrated? We might be better starting with the 21, because at least that is 3 times 7 as prime factors, isn't it? And there's no way this can go into 7 different boxes. So this must go into 3 different boxes and plonk 7's worth of digits into each box. Okay, so but 21 is a triangular number as well. So 21 is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. So this is either 6 cells, because we can't repeat a digit in this one's region. It's either 6 cells or less, and yet it has to visit 3 different boxes. And it can never... okay, so what we should do, first thing we should do, I should have done this straight away, is to label these cells as island cells. We need a colour for that. Let's make it... I think I got ridiculed last time for choosing the wrong colour. I'll make them orange. So we're going to say oranges are islands, and we'll have blue for water that will flow between the islands. Now, one thing I can see here is this 21 clue can't come to this cell, because then it's part of this 16 island, and that's not going to work, is it? Because we can't have the sum of this island being 16 at the same time that it's also 21. So these islands are distinct, and this has to be so it can't come to this square. I'm just trying to work out which boxes it's going to go into within 6 cells so that it does visit 3 different boxes. But actually it can do things like that, can't it? Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it can't. Okay, that's another thought. If it's 6 cells large, every digit is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So in order to have each box adding up to 7, each box's worth of digits adding up to 7, it will have to have 2 cells in each box. That's much more difficult. That is much more difficult. How are we going to do that? I'm going to claim that's impossible. Well. No. This is clever. Right, so this is the way to think about the start. This clue, I don't think, can be 6 cells large. Because if we come there, we've got to leave the box, because we need to plonk 2 cells at least into each box. Well, 2 cells exactly into each box. So we have to go there. Then we have to take this. Now we've got to get into another box within 1 step, so we have to go there. And we can't put 2 in this box because of this beautifully placed 16 clue. So this is a maximum... Well, okay, so now it's 5 cells large, and it must be 5 cells, because we can't get into 3 different boxes in 4 cells. Yeah, there's no way, is there? Because we're going to take 2 to get out of box 1, whether we go there or there. So this is a 5-cell region. Let me just think about this. It's a 5-cell region, so one of the digits in it is a 7. So there's going to be one region, or one 3 by 3 box that just has 1 cell from the 21 in it, and that's going to be a single 7. And then we're going to have 2 boxes that have a pair, a domino in them. So how are we going to do that? If we come here, we can't do that, because then we're going to have to take a 3rd cell. So the first cell's definitely there, which means the next cell is definitely there, which means the next cell, so it is that, I think. There's no other way of doing it, is there? I just want to check whether or not there's some configuration that would get us to here. I don't think there is, to get to that square, I'd have to take this square, and that's going to put 3 cells in box 1, which I can't afford. I can't have 6 digits in this, so it's got to only be 5. So I think that's a 7. These add up to 7. Oh, shall we pencil mark that? No. No, that would be ridiculous. But this is an absolutely huge breakthrough, because now this is an island in the puzzle. So every cell connected with this. Not we can't do the diagonal ones as well, although we probably can actually in a moment. These are all blue. That can't be island because it wouldn't have a clue in it. And I think that was a rule, that every island had a clue in it. Yes, each island contains exactly 1 clue. So yeah, but one of the things that I haven't done Nurikabe for so long, you know, I look at this and I'm thinking yin yang. I can't have a checkerboard. I can't have a checkerboard. In Nurikabe, you can absolutely have a checkerboard. So I must not think about that square. That square I can think about, because I've got to avoid 2 by 2s. So that's got to go there. No, I can't do that one, can I? Because right, here's classic Nurikabe. What about that clue and its relationship with this clue? What would happen if this clue went here? Well, now this clue can't grow, because to grow it would join itself to the 16 clue. And actually, having just revisited the rules, I've realised there's no way, even with the same number, we're only allowed to put 1 clue into each island. So we can't do that. That's got to be blue. Okay. I mean, one thing I'm thinking about, just to bear in mind, is that because we can't have a 2 by 2 of blue anywhere in the puzzle, there is going to have to be a visit of some island into this 2 by 2. That's quite a good trick for difficult Nurikabes, is often to find areas of the grid that seem very isolated and ask how you could get into them from an island. Now, this 12, problem is 12 has so many factors again, doesn't it? It could be, well, if it goes into 2 boxes, each slug is going to add up to 6, but that could be 1, 2, 3 in one box and 6 in the other. Oh, so that could be 6, and then we could do 1, 2, 3 like that. But we could equally well have dominoes in each, couldn't we? We could have, yeah, we could have 4, 2. We can't repeat digits in islands, no. 4, 2, 1, 5. So we could have something like that in there. We have got a lot of 16 clues. Now 16 has a lot of factors of 2 involved in it, doesn't it? Okay, well, let's think about that. Can a 16 clue get into 4 different boxes? Surely not. With each, no, because each box has to have 4's worth of digits in it, and we're definitely going to end up repeating digits if we try and achieve that. Right. So the 16 clues are actually only in 2 boxes, all of them, and each slug is going to be worth 8. So this is interesting. Because that's got to. How does this get out of its initial box? And the answer is I don't know. Well, I do know. Actually, I do know. This is. I think this may be where I was meant to start. I've just suddenly realised. Because what I've realised is this must visit another box, and it cannot spend more than 3's worth of island cells in this box. Because if it did something like that. What's the minimum sum of those 4 cells? Well, it's 10, if 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and that we can't afford to spend 10 in box 7, because then we'd have to spend 10 in the next box we visit, and 20 is more than 16. So we can only spend 3 cells, which means we're either doing that or that. Now, if we were doing that, we can't take that cell next. We'd have to turn and take a 4th cell, so we cannot do that. We have to go up. This has to all be... that has to all be water, So we have to go here. Now that's water to prevent those joining. The water joins up, so this is water. This is... Does this grow or not? Not... Oh, hang on, this one's... Well... Oh, right. No, that's actually resolved this question for me. Okay, this one has to visit another box, so it has to go there. We know it's got 8's worth of digits in both boxes. So this is 8. These two add up to 8, but this now can't be a solitary 8, can it? Because that's going to clash in the column. So this needs to grow, and it can't grow again, because if it grew again, we'd have 6 digits. We know the triangular sum for 6 is 21. So the minimum sum of those 6 cells would be 21, and they need to only add up to 16. So we've got to stop here. These cells are now known. They've got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. That's the only way of making 5 different Sudoku digits add up to 16. We can't put the 4 in here because it would need another 4 alongside it. Oh, yeah, so this is a 6-2 pair. That's the only way that will work. This is 6-2. This is 1, 3, 4. These add up to 8, and they're either 1. They're not 1, 7. This is 3, 5. So this is done. This is a 5. This is a 3, using the power of having a 3 in column 1 already. That's great. That is great. That square can't be an island. Oh, that's going to give 2 by 2 opportunities. Well, 1. That's now got to be island to avoid a 2 by 2. This hasn't connected to its friends, so it's got to drip down here. Therefore, that's island now. Now, is that joining to this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's not joining to a 6. Oh, it could join to the 45, could it? Oh, no, it can't. Well, it can't. But maybe it could. But if it did, the 36 couldn't grow at all. So that's part of the 36. Now that's quite interesting, because if that's part of the 36, I don't know how it's part of the 36, but I know there's an effective wall between these two cells, because once we orthogonally connect these two cells up, this watercourse cannot flow like this, can it? So this must be water, therefore this must be island. We know that 16s can't spend 4 digits in one box, so that's got to be that. That's got to drip down here. This is different from the 36. This we know has to escape. This is the escape valve for the water here. It's not coming this way. So that's got to be blue. This has got to join up. This has got to grow. Does it or not? Yes. It could only visit 2 boxes, but if it did that, each slug would be 18, and I can't put 18 in a domino. So I need to reduce the total. And in fact, now it's spent 2 digits in box 7. I know that this is not a 2-box visitor. It's at least a 3-box visitor. Do I know whether this is growing again? If this if the 16 stops, we know this is an 8. If it goes to here, we know that this is 1, 2, 3. Well, we know that's 2, 6, don't we? But that... Yeah, I don't know. That might be fine. I'm not immediately seeing... Well, we know that the blue has to continue, so the blue comes to here. We know this has to get into a new box, so it's got to go to there. I've got to be very careful now. This is not a single cell, is it? No. The only way it could be a single cell is if we reduce the total for the 36 down to 9, which would require it to visit a 4th box. So as this grows, it's either going here or here, isn't it? So that cell can't be an extension of the 45, because that's going to stop this growing. So that is blue. And the 45 is going to have to start going up this column, I think. I mean, we know this is 9 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it must go to there, which means this square is blue. Right, this is interesting now, because the 36 can't go into a 4th box. It's sort of trapped in by the 2 16s and the 45. So... here's another point, actually. It can't go there. That's interesting. It can't go there because what then is this cell? This cell is now water because otherwise these two islands join up. And if this is water, it can't be orthogonally connected to the rest of its friends. So that is water as well. But we've got two potential canals of water to get this out of. If that's... I feel like there's a reason I know that this can't go here. I'm not sure. Maybe that's just wishful thinking. Okay, but we can do the maths on the 36 now. We know it visits 3 boxes. So we know these 2 squares add up to 12, and they don't involve 3 or 4, so they're 5 and 7. That's very clever. Not of me, I hasten to add. It's clever of Niverio. 5 is up here now. Okay. So this is going to grow. Well, it must grow to here because we know it adds up to 12 and therefore it stops. So that goes up. That's going to, right, so this one is going to be yes, it's exactly the same thing. Its next cell in this box, it needs to take another cell in this box because it's not got out of the box yet. Well, if it goes there, for example, then it's going to spend at least four cells in box 6, which it's not allowed to do. It needs to have exactly 8's worth of digits in this box. So it must go there, and then it's either going there or there. But we know that these are definitely water, therefore. This cannot grow to the right. What we need... Wow. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I've got this isolated pond of water here. These 2 squares add up to 12 and they aren't 5, 7. So these are either 3, 9 or 4, 8. And these squares add up to 12. But there's 3 of them. So that's probably got a lot more flexibility in it. The 45 has to keep wandering. Remember, this is 9 cells in all. So far I've only got a maximum. Well, actually this has to get out. Sorry, I didn't see that. So it's got a maximum of 1 more cell in box 9. So it's got a maximum of 6 cells by the time it gets here. So it has to keep growing. These squares... that's gorgeous. Oh, look at this. Right, there's a 3 or a 4 in this domino. So what is the nature of these 3 cells? Remember, these add up to 8. Well, it's not 1, 3, 4, because that would kill both varieties of 12 cage down here. So this is 1, 2, 5, and that's not 5. 4 is over here for what that's worth. So 4 is in one of these 3 squares, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in this domino. Okay. Oh, hang on, I didn't notice this. If this is now orange, this water can't connect, can it? So it has to go there, which means this is an 8. That might be useful. Yeah, okay, now there's an 8 here in box 7. Now there's an 8 in one of those in box 4. These 3 digits are either 1, 2, 5. If they're 1, 2, 5, let's do that. They're going to look like that. Or 1, 3, 4. Right. Okay, they're not 1, 2, 5, I don't think. If they're 1, 2, 5, that cell seems to have been killed. Because it could be nothing. It sees 1, 5 and 2. Right, so this is 1, 3, 4. Which is good, but doesn't actually does much less. Right, that's not 2. means. I don't know. What we really need to do, I need to know where this grows. Is this growing into a 2? No. Oh, hang on. If this is 1, 2, 5, what? Yeah, there's no method by which this can grow and have a domino. Because if it has a domino in its next region, I need this domino to add up to 8. So, and 1, 7, 2, 6, and 3, 5 are all killed, because we've already got 1, 2, and 5 in this island. So actually, this is a single 8 in one of those two positions. If it was here, you see, that would be really helpful. That would that would fix the 4 as well. It's in one of those. Oh, it's not that. Right, sorry. Oh, well, actually, that's the place I was hoping to put it, but Sudoku kills that. So it goes there. That's island. This completes this island. 8 is now in one of those two squares at the top of column 4. Okay. Right, and the good thing that's done is it has blocked off this vertical channel in column 6. So we do know that to connect this top bit, in fact, I should have seen that. That's got to be water. That avoided 2 by 2. There's loads of stuff going on I've just been missing. Right, and this water has to connect to this water somehow, so it's got to go through there. There is no other option for it. So the 12, right, the 12 now cannot get into a third region. It's going to go into this region, and that's it. So we know we're dividing 12 by 2, which means these two squares add up to 6. So these are either 1, 5 or 2, 4. And if they were 1, 5, that would put pressure on these two squares, which have to add up to 7. They'd have to be 3, 4. That would definitely be a 1. But if this is, well, is it the same if that's 2, 4? Then this is 1, 6. There's never 8 in here. Sorry, there's never 8 in here because these two squares add up to 7. So that's 8. So 8 is in one of these 3 squares. So, oh, no, we don't know whether the 8's here. We don't know how far this 12 is going. Do we know, oh, the 45 has to keep growing. We've only got 6, 7 maximum, so that's got to definitely grow to here. And again, at least one more. Okay, oh, 7 maybe. 7 is in one of those squares. The 45 is having 15's worth of digits, isn't it? In each box that it visits. Because it's visiting 3 boxes. And it's definitely got a 4 in here. So its other 2 digits in here add up to 11. And they're not 2, 9. They're not 4, 7. They're not 5, 6. So this is 3, 4, 8, and that seems to place 7 in this box. And that means these two squares are a 6, 9 pair by Sudoku. That's not, that's a naked single 4. Okay, we'll take anything we can get at the moment. This is now not 8. Phone's going crazy. Don't know why. It's going to be intriguing when I get a chance to look at it. What have we learned now? Have we actually? 1, 2. We've got what? We've got 7 cells, possibly 8 cells of orange. So orange. Oh, I see. Right. What would happen if orange? If this was blue, and orange had to take 2 more cells in this box? Well, I don't think there's a way of doing that, because whichever 2 I take, once this spills across into box 3, which we know it will do, I mean, let's look at the options. Maybe that's the way. I mean, I can see this is going to fail. But if this comes here, which 2 cells now should we take here? And the point is we can't do something like that, because that's going to isolate a blue. You just can't do it. If this is orange, and we've got to take 2 more here, it would have to be these 2, and you'll isolate this blue. So that means that we do take that square. We can only take 1 more square, and we must take 1 more square because we know that the 45 is 9 cells. So if we took that one, again, I think we're going to isolate, aren't we? We'd have to take this one. We'd isolate 2. Yeah, that's beautiful. It doesn't work. So in fact, this 45 glue is the whole of column 9. And these have to be blue. We can't have a 2 by 2, so that can't be 8 anymore because we know it's adding up to 6. So this is 8. So now, that's good. That is good, because now I've managed to get 4 and 8 into 2 of these 3 squares, which means at least one of them is in the bottom domino, and once one of them is in the bottom domino, which adds up to 12, they both must be. So this is not 3, 9, this is 4, 8. We can tidy up some pencil marks. And we don't know, do we, whether this is... Oh, we do. Actually, maybe we've known this for a while. I didn't spot it. But look, this domino is impossible because you can't make it add up to 6. No, probably only once we ruled the 4 out from being in the 12. Because 1, 5 and 2, 4 are simply unavailable. So that is a solitary 6. That is the final piece of the Nurikabe shading, which we've now finished. The missing digits in column 7 are 3, 7 and 9. Bobbins. That doesn't seem resolved at all. Somewhat oddly. Okay. Do we... I suppose what we can do... We do know there's a 6... yeah, okay. We know there's a 6 down here, don't we? Now, we know that each slug of the 45 adds up to 15, so I can't now put the 9 down here. Because if I do, 9 plus 6 plus 0, I'd have to put a 0 down here. That's not going to work, is it? So 9 goes up here. Now these become a 3, 7 pair. That becomes a 9. What does that mean? Well, this by Sudoku is now an 8, 9 pair, which means these 2 squares by Sudoku are a 2, 6 pair. And that's given me it's given me an actual 2, 6 pair in column 2. That's no longer a 6. How are we going to make... Yeah, okay, with the 9, we need 2 more digits that add up to 6 to make 15, and we can't use 4. So we actually know that these are 1, 5, 9, and that means this square's a 2 by Sudoku. And down here we need 1, whoopsie, we need 1, 3 and something, 5. Which means hopefully these squares, the rump of digits will add up to 15. 2, 6 and 7, yeah, that seems to be correct, doesn't it? And we know, oh, that's a 7. It sees both 2 and 6. Okay, that's great. So now what do these add up to? These add up to 12, and we can't use any of these 4, 5, 7 and 8 digits. So what have we got left? 1, 2, 3, 6 and 9. And 3 of those have to add up to... Right, so we need a 9 in here. If we don't have 9, the biggest digits we've got available are 6, 3 and 2, and 6, 3 and 2 do not add up to 12. So this is 9, 1, 2, which we can write in. That's a 6 in the corner, that's a 2. This is a 9, this is an 8, that's an 8, that's a 4. That square is not... I want to say that's not 1 or 4, I think that's right. So... That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. That's now 5, that's great, so that does the 5 and the 7. This is not, neither of these are 5, of course, so this is a 1, 3 pair. Come on, Simon, there's more to be gleaned, I think, from the Sudoku. I mean, it is outrageous. Niverio's making me do Sudoku in his Sudoku puzzle. But needs must. Okay, let's... Oh, I can't see what to do. It's probably this one, because that's the one I've not pencil marked. 5 is in one of those squares, in box 8. Okay, that's something there. So 5 in box 5 is in one of those squares using this 5. So, I mean, the way to see this, if you were good at solving Sudoku, is to look at those squares ab initio and go, okay, where's the 5 in them? But for me, the way I got that was sort of by pencil marking these and realizing none of these could be 5. But that's useful, because now 5 in column 5 is one of those squares, which means this is not a 1-5 pair, that's a 2-4 pair, which means this isn't 2. 2 is in one, oh, whoopsie. 2 is in one of these squares in box 5. The 4 does some work, so that's 4, that's 2. 4 is in this domino. 2, oh, if we can get the 2 in here, then that will be 2-5. Oh, well, okay, it is 2-5. These add up to 7, and they don't involve 4 or 6, so this is 2-5, so that's done. We've got to do it in that order from the pencil marking. So this isn't 2, this isn't 5, this isn't 5, this isn't 5. Ah! Keep being on the wrong thingy. Okay, so these two squares also have to add up to a useful number. They can't be 2, 5 or 3, 4. So this is 1, 6, and we know the order. 6, 1, 9 over here. So this row needs 3 and 7. And the 3 is useful in the bottom corner. That's going to give us those digits. This 3 is useful. That's now not 1. There's a 3 in one of these two squares. That's not 1. Okay, so this is 1 apparently. We've got a 2-9 pair left. And we can probably... I don't know, I'm just trying to spot where... Maybe it's column 1. What do we need there? 2, 6 and 9. So this square in the corner is 6 or 9. This square is definitely not 7. Oh, well that places 7 in this box. Hang on. Yeah, this is 9, isn't it? Have I got this wrong? I think I need 2, 6 and 9 in this column. And that square definitely can't be 2 or 6, so it definitely must be 9. Which makes that 6, that 6, that 2. That 9 is doing things, yes. That's a 6 by Sudoku now, which places 2. Doesn't quite place 5. My pencil marked 5s were a bit over ambitious. We've got 5 and 9. Oh, we can do that. That's got to be 9. That's got to be 5. So this has become a 1. 1, 2 and 5 go in there. That becomes 1 and 4. We can put 4 here. We can put 3 and 8 here. We can put 8 here, and we can put 1 there. That's beautiful. It's so clever, this, isn't it? It's got an absolutely gorgeous flow to it. We need 9 in this column. Can we do that? No. 4 we can, though. Oh, 4 we can do there. We need a 1 in this column. How many 1s? Ah! That was a total shank. How many 1s have we got in the grid? Many. Many, but maybe not all of them, although I can continue a little bit. These squares are 9 and 3. Bobbins. These squares are 7 and 9. Okay, I don't think that's resolved. Might be, but I can't see why. So I've got to do something at the bottom of the grid then. Oh, this 9 is useful, sorry. 7, 9, 7, 3, 3, 9. That's, so we're very close to finishing now, aren't we? That 9 is doing some work. In this column, we've not put in 7, I want to say. So let's get rid of the 7 here. Now what do we need? We need 4 and 5 in this column into those squares. So the 5 must be on the top. 5, 4, 4, 1, 1, 3, 3, and that's going to be 6. And that might be correct. Let's see. Yay. Brilliant. It's a brilliant puzzle. Absolutely gorgeous. The flow of that is just so consistent, isn't it? And yeah, it's just a perfect puzzle, really. you have to think a bit about the Nurikabe. You have to think about how the region sum, combining the Nurikabe with the region sum, really gives it a novel flavour and allows you to do some lovely stuff. Like this 21 being forced to be a V pentomino was, you know, was unexpected and interesting. But I suspect I could have started here because, well, this was cool as well. It's cool that you can work out that 16 has to be in 2 regions. Therefore, you need regions of 8. And once you've got a corner square, you know to get out, you've got to do it with alacrity. So this was very nice as well. Yeah, it's a beautiful puzzle, as you'd expect. That's basically what Niverio gives you. Let me know in the comments how you got on with this. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.